Story 1. Whatever you are doing with a lot of your free time, stop doing that thing. Pick up something new, start from scratch, and practice to become good at it. Strive, though, to be the best at that thing. Confidence will follow. Story 2. Do you overthink a lot of stuff, such as others' opinions of you? Good. Now I want you to be honest with yourself and jot down how often you have such harsh thoughts about strangers or friends around you. Do you spend more time hating yourself or hating others? If you spend more time being hard on yourself, you're normal. Normal means average, and average people don't spend most of their day harshly judging others, mainly themselves. So if everybody is busy hating themselves, who's the only person pointing out your flaws? You. So there's no point in wasting time being upset with yourself if not even other people whose opinions you care about are doing it as much as you think they are. Story 3. Nobody has as low of an opinion of you as you do. I've had things stuck in my head for years that I still kick myself over. Things that other people don't even remember. I've struggled with this for years. And to be completely honest, I just faked it. I acted confident even when I didn't feel it. I acted calm even when I felt like freaking out. Eventually, it wasn't faking it so much. I'd feel anxiety but would be able to brush it off by telling myself, it isn't real. It's in your head. For me, nothing fixes me up better than being productive. But that doesn't mean it has to be for work or anything. Find something you like. One of my activities is hand-drawing maps just to zone out and relax. If it's a specific thing bothering you, then go out there and get it. The only thing stopping you is you at this point. You just have to learn to be nicer to yourself. Whenever I screw up, I have a little voice in my head telling me, you suck, you're worthless. Ignore that voice, it doesn't know anything. You are what you do, not what you think. Story 4. Some physical exercise is great mentally and physically for yourself, and that's not even taking into consideration how it will affect how others see and interact with you, which is another gain. It also helps you sleep better, which is massively underrated if you're having bouts of anxiety or depression. Bad sleep makes everything worse. Story 5. Self-esteem comes from esteemable actions. Live the way you desire to live, serve others, be helpful, be kind, and good things will come. This is actually how I met and obtained interest from my now wife. My friend Todd asked me one day to help him move some chairs for a friend who had just moved to town. I was doing practically nothing, hanging out in my apartment playing Xbox online, probably Halo or Call of Duty. Todd picked me up in his truck, and we went to pick up the chairs and then to drop them off to this person who had just moved to town. Well, the person who had just moved to town was apparently this super attractive woman that Todd could not stop talking about the whole car ride to and from picking up the chairs. We can call her Sarah. He was talking about how cool, smart, and just the whole package she was. So immediately with my self-esteem at the time, I thought, well, it's never going to happen to me. I am clearly not going to ever date this girl as she is way out of my league, so the pressure is off. We dropped off the chairs and I met Sarah, and we all hung out after moving the chairs into the house. Mind you, this was the days before GPS and even MapQuest was pretty new. I told Sarah I was going to be in her vicinity the next day because I was getting a suit tailored for a wedding down the street and asked her if she needed someone to help her navigate the city to show her where the nearest grocery store was and the nearest Target, etc. She was floored that I would just offer to do that for her, to take time out of my day to help her. So, because I was showing her around town and helping her, we ended up spending the whole next day together. What happened without me knowing it was because of my willingness to help her without expecting anything in return. She was able to see that I was a nice person. Also, it gave me a chance that I certainly never would have had, the ability to spend an entire day with her and allow her to actually get to know the real me. It was because of that we decided to do some sightseeing the following day and I took her to some local museums. We just had a bunch of fun. The whole time in my head, I'm just having a good time with a new friend, but unbeknownst to me, she is developing interest in me. Long story short, she basically had to end up making the first move because I was so oblivious due to my low self-esteem that what little signals I was picking up, I totally ignored because I knew she was so far out of my league. Ultimately, this is just an example of how things have improved since I have taken this kind of service-oriented life. It has done wonders for my self-esteem because I know that I like who I am because if judged by my actions, I'm pretty decent. And I'm not out there volunteering at dog shelters or aiding the elderly. I actually do zero volunteer work. I just say yes if someone in my life asks for help and it's within my power to help them. It's led to a lot of really great things too. It has strengthened my relationships with both my family and friends. People know they can count on me. It has helped with my job. My bosses have noticed I help my peers, and I've heard about it in evaluations. All this to say, it seems like a lot, but if I could do it all over, I would just start earlier because I lived far too long believing I was a huge piece of nothing that didn't deserve anything. Now, I know that isn't true. Story 6. In my experience, self-esteem is not something you have or do not. Rather, it's built. The first part is ingraining good self-care habits. Diet, sleep, exercise, and routine. If you take care of yourself, you will feel better, and if you feel better, you will have more energy and resilience to be able to do things. To ingrain habits, you have to do things over and over again until you do not think about it anymore. Be kind to yourself if, let's not kid ourselves, when you lapse. Also, do not worry if you lapse for a while. A good habit is a lifetime investment. Secondly, build on something. It does not matter what it is as long as it is something that 1. You find valuable. 2. Is challenging. 3. Takes time. Whether it's cooking, lifting, figure skating, knitting, or StarCraft 2, practice it deliberately. By doing this, you teach yourself how to master a skill. Learning mastery bleeds over into all aspects of your life and will result in what is known in psychological literature as self-efficacy. The sense of yourself that whatever happens in life, you will be able to handle it. The last part is learning to truly love yourself for who you are and where you are in the world. I have not gotten to that part yet. I will let you know when I have got something. Story 7. Personally, I don't struggle with this, but here's my advice. Get yourself clothes that make you feel confident and a good haircut. Maybe try something new. I love to wear good quality semi-formal trousers, and a new, well-fitting pair combined with my favorite clothes and shoes makes me feel incredible. In general, wearing an outfit that I feel good in gives me quite a boost. A lot of men don't think about what they are going to wear at all, so if you put a little thought into it, you stand out. If you like what you're wearing, you will feel more comfortable because other people might like it or notice it too. Good luck. Story 8. It's a tricky question, and everyone needs a different answer. However, there is one thing that seems to work for everyone, and it's to do something rewarding, something that gives you a feeling of progress. Don't compare yourself to others, just focus on your own progress. I don't know where I stand on an absolute scale, but on a relative scale, I'm much better than I ever was, and I feel really good about it. Story 9. Write a huge list of the things you don't like and the things you do like about yourself. When you first do it, the list of dislikes will probably be longer and make you feel bad. Then go through and put an asterisk next to the ones you can't even change. Be honest too, you can change lack of motivation or discipline, but you can't change a crooked nose or height. You'll find there are far fewer that you can't ever possibly change. Then every day, read your list of your faults and strengths. Accept everything on the page. They are who you are. You have to simply accept them. They're not perfect, but they're you. And lots of people have a similar list. And then with all the others that you can change, start just one by one, looking at what you could do that day that would slightly improve one of the ones you dislike. Poor self-esteem isn't about not liking who you are. It's about giving a disproportionate level of attention to your dislikes. Your dislikes are not who you are. Story 10. Just don't waste time. When you have time, try to achieve something like hitting the gym, learning a musical instrument, a new language, or whatever instead of doing nothing. Story 11. I can tell you one thing I realized. Stop trying to control things that are out of your control and become the best in what you can control. Stressing over things which you cannot control will affect your growth in things which you can control. Secondly, the biggest competition for you is yourself. Adopt the Mamba mentality. Rest in peace, Kobe. Story 12. Lots of good advice in here, but do not discount therapy. There are mental habits you may not recognize that need someone else to point out. I used to use a lot of negative language talking about things I do or my past, and it was fostering negative views of me and others. Changing that habit has changed the way people treat me, which is helping me develop and maintain self-esteem. After 3 years of therapy, I am still not out of the woods, but I can see some sunlight piercing the canopy. Story 13:1. Destroy your ego. Learn to be brutally honest with yourself. You lie to yourself to preserve your ego. See step 1. Don't take your abilities or competence for granted. Put that to the test. Do you think you're smart, but you've never done anything intellectually challenging because you might shatter that view you have of yourself? That's ego protection. See step 1. Don't lie. If you feel the need to lie, it's because you've failed in some way or have betrayed your values and you're trying to preserve your ego. See step 1. Don't feel shame. Failure is to be learned from and improved upon. Be honest about your shortcomings and work on them. Apologize to those you hurt and commit to doing better for yourself. Don't live your life for others. At the end of the day, the only person whose judgment will always be you is the one in the mirror. Be authentic. If you have to shrink, warp, or in any way manipulate who you are for the perceived benefit of others, you're not being honest. You're trying to protect how they see you. See step 1. Sensing a theme here? Finding out who you are and what you want isn't easy. If you've never done this, you'll realize there is actually very little of you that's actually you. Most of you will just be pieces or ideas of other people that you've adopted. This is scary to do and anxiety-inducing, but a necessary exercise. Don't know where to start? Imagine your ideal life 20 years from now. What kind of relationships do you have? With your kids? Do you have any kids? Your partner? Do you want one? Are you married? With your parents? What kind of a job do you have? Does it challenge you? Does it engage you? How are you with your coworkers? Are you involved in the community? What kind of person are you? Would people say the same thing if you weren't around? Conversely, let's say you changed nothing about your life. What would your life be like 20 years from now? That's a good starting point. Story 14. Stop with the social media. No, seriously, stop. Get to a gym or find a sport you find enjoyable. Seriously, get off social media. Pick up a hobby that is fun but not simple, like music or computer languages. Stop looking for feedback or encouragement in what you do. Say positive things to yourself when you are happy. Find a hobby that makes you travel a bit, like bike riding. My personal favorite, volunteer. There's nothing like seeing someone with things 10 times worse than you to help you appreciate what you've been taking for granted. Story 15. Work on yourself. Be it physical appearance, wardrobe, or hobbies. Study something, research something, and talk about it on your social media. Not politics. Knowledge breeds confidence. Story 16. I'd have low self-esteem too if I wasn't good at anything. The thing with confidence is that you need something to be confident about. Get good at something you can take pride in. Story 17. I would recommend some form of training. I am currently doing karate, and I have seen a few people with low confidence doing it and slowly getting more confident. Story 18. Start up a hobby and commit to it. Carve out time specifically for that activity on a weekly basis and have it scheduled. As you improve, your self-esteem will grow along with it. It can be anything from a sport, the gym, playing an instrument, or some creative outlet like painting, woodworking, or drawing. Story 19. What is low self-esteem, brother? You are a champion, my friend. The best who ever lived. Positivity, my brother. I love you, big brother. We are winning. Shout out to all the kings and queens throughout the world, regardless of color, rich or poor. Peace to you all, my fellow human beings. Love and light all the time. Story 20. Come on. Get confident. Not stupid. Honestly, this thought freed me up. No one cares about you. Not in a bad way, but in the way that whatever you are worried about doing or not doing leaves no lasting impact on random people around you. People love you and pay attention to you, but no one really keeps track of your mistakes. Time heals all wounds. Another thing is to practice telling people your opinion when you are asked. You don't have to be forceful or try to convince anyone, but if you have a thought in a situation and you are asked about it, say it. It doesn't have to be about earth-shaking events. Simple stuff like you prefer chocolate over strawberries. Let yourself have a voice and don't cut your own throat. If you like something, you don't need to say it's silly or stupid. If you like something, that's cool and good enough. And working on your self-esteem doesn't need to be a secret. If somebody who is your friend calls you stupid for liking something, you can say, "Hey man, I'm working on my self-esteem right now, so don't make me feel stupid for expressing my opinion." Story 21. Routine. 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 A lot of good advice in this thread, but ultimately everyone has different ups and downs and levels of self-esteem. Personally, I've found it best when I'm out of my own head. I'm involved in soccer teams, I go to the gym daily, I try always to be reading a book, and I play video games. I do all of that outside of spending time with friends. Things like competition, physical or mental, and social interaction are all self-esteem boosters. Also, you don't just pick up your self-esteem in one day, 1 week, or even 1 month. It's work. It requires you to constantly say, "I can be happier, I can be better," and then make the right improvements to do so. Also, be wary of burying your feelings and mental health in drugs and alcohol. I'm by no means substance-free, but I hold myself to strict rules. No alcohol during the week, only smoking weed socially, never alone. Those types of things allow you to really focus on good mental health. Comparatively, I'm sure some people would say go 100% substance-free. Just my take on it as a happy 30-year-old.